Friends is about they got Friends is about I get not dating people that you're close with. I don't know what does it have a plot?
Let's see if we can remember these classic TV shows.
So where are we going now?
What ended up happening?
What did you ask me?
You're about to watch some long stories short.
The Office is one of them shows where it's like, I know it's funny, the world tells me it's funny, but when I watch it, I'm like, what is happening here?
They're just working in an office. It's no plot. It's like every episode, they're just working in an office. Funny happening.
I love The Office. I can tell you all about it. It starts in Stratford, Missouri.
So Steve Carell, he plays Michael Scott, and he is the boss at a paper company called Dunder Mifflin? Dindle Muffle.
But all he wants to do is be loved. And he's the most infuriating character.
And everyone thinks he's literally the weirdest person alive, but they just like let him stay the boss.
But then you can just tell it comes from like this heartfelt place, and you just always end up feeling bad for him. Not in like a manipulative way either, I don't think. Maybe he's been manipulating me all these years.
And then there's the guy, I want to say his name is Mike. Mike, and he married to the girl, Sharon. I don't know if those are close.
Jim and Pam? Jim and Pam?
They got a little office flirty going on. They're sharing highlighters. They're flinging paper clips.
Pam is engaged, but leaves that boyfriend, fiance for Jim. They get married. They have babies.
There's also Dwight, who is Rainn Wilson.
Like for him, 1 and 1 isn't 2. For him, 1 and 1 is like pancake. Like it just things don't even make sense. But for him, it always makes sense.
We have Creed. We have Stanley. Stanley Tucci. Another Stanley, equally iconic.
There's a guy on that show. He's the HR guy, I think. And he's like really awkward. He came in and he was like, oh, that's the guy from HR. He's not really part of our family. But then again, he's getting divorced, so he's really not part of any family. And that's probably like one of the funniest things I've ever heard on that show. And I was in tears laughing at that.
They all like break the third wall and like look in the camera, and I'm like startled. I'm like, what is going on?
I do that in real life. Somebody say something to me crazy and I'll just go. And they'd be like, what was that? And I was like, I was looking at the audience. Like, there is no audience. But in my mind, there's always...
Yes, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That was the jam. I mean, Will Smith is just so talented.
In my mind, I am Will Smith. Like, I look like him. Mind you, mirrors completely ruined that about me.
He was in West Philadelphia. Was it West? Yes, West Philadelphia. Born and raised. He was actually on the playground where he spent most of his days. He was acting. I can't do it. I can't do it.
You know, he got some trouble in Philly. He was fighting on the playground.
His mom was like, you're going to Bel-Air with your auntie and uncle so you can get your together.
It was just such a culture shock when he got there. Like, they had, you know what I mean, butlers. They had just, like, all types of money.
But he slowly evolves and adapts and, you know, finds family.
Uncle Phil, me and him share a lot of, you know, clothes sizes and belly shapes.
Aunt Viv.
There was first Aunt Viv and second Aunt Viv. I'm not going to say which one was better, but we know. We know. But I don't want to cause no beef. They pieced all that up.
But Hillary Banks. Hillary Banks. Everyone's like, oh my God, she's so stuck up. Why? Because a woman knows what she wants? Huh? And her incredible outfits?
And also Jeffrey, the butler. Jeffrey was the glue, you know? He was the butler, but he was the glue. You know, he's like, Will, could you... No, that's not how he died. Will, I don't really know. That was my impression of Jeffrey the butler. Just, Will, Hillary, Vivian, Ashley, Carlton.
I had the biggest crush on Ashley, Tatiana Ali. Tatiana, if you watching this, what's up? What's up?
He like has the nerdiest brother ever. Carlisle. Carlton!
I can't forget about Carlton. Carlton is the first Oreo on television because, you know, he's black on the outside, white on the inside. And
He was just like super like stiff and awkward and nerdy. And he was such a stark contrast next to, you know, Will Smith, who was just like cool, swaggy. And I felt like he always tried to like sprinkle a little swag on Carlton. He tried to but Carlton just couldn't catch it.
Here's the thing about the dance, right? A lot of people just do this, right? You got to bring it up and bring it like it's like a flick.
Also, Tyra Banks was Will Smith's girlfriend, and people just like to forget. People just like to forget that Tyra Banks was stunning.
That was the couple I was rooting for. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
So I'm obsessed with Friends. I could sing the song all day of my life. I feel like that is so cute to be in a fountain like that. But also I feel like that's disgusting, but maybe they cleaned it out for them.
Friends is about a group of amigos. They live together, kind of. They end up adopting a duck. You'll get it when you watch it.
They live in New York, right above a coffee shop called Central Perk.
Okay, let's see if I remember all the Friends characters.
There's Joey, because Joey be like, hey, how you doing?
Joey is an actor and like doesn't do anything, but then he gets really famous like halfway through, I think, which is good. Good job, Joey, you got famous.
There's Monica.
The anal one of the group, if you will. You know, you got to put the marker cap on and hear the snap. You know?
What was there's a dark haired guy. Bing, right?
Chandler, who's like a business dude and no one knows what the he does for work, but that's like his whole character, so it's like kind of funny that like we don't know.
He's like a numbers transportationist or something.
Oh, there's another girl. Cause she was weird and she played the guitar. The blonde girl, like, hello, I'm in a coffee shop and I'm playing the guitar.
Phoebe is just like doesn't even live in the same building, but for some reason she's just like always there.
I see myself as more of a Phoebe, but I know in my heart of hearts I am a Janice. You love me, Chandler Bing. I know, that was too good, and the problem with that is that it felt right, and that's how I know.
One of them is a store, not Marshall. One of them is Marshall. It's like one of them, like, you know, the affordable store. Ross.
Ross is a paleontologist. He also has an ex-wife who's a lesbian.
Ross goes, fine by me.
Ross loves dinosaurs, and Rachel loves herself.
Rachel is the popular girl from high school, right? And in the beginning, she shows up back in their lives with a wedding dress.
And also, Rachel, you were on a break. You were on a break. And every time I say that to somebody, they're like, oh, you cheated on a boyfriend before. And I'm like, I gotta leave this party. But you guys were on a break. He could do whatever he wanted.
I am on the fence about that. I feel like although they were on a break, they didn't break up.
I feel like they broke up.
Didn't Ross sleep with like she's like from England or Buckingham Palace or something?
When Ross was at the altar and said the name Rachel, I think everybody in the United States stood up and went, ah, that lucky bitch. And that's all, folks.
That's how I remember it.
And that are the long stories short.